So, I think the question is, why has the princess and her husband-to-be decided to invite the public and have a wedding that is so much like that of Harry and Meghan? Well, a man who is in the know is Grant Harrold, who is the royal butler. Good morning, Grant.
Good morning, Mum.
Wow. Oh, first of all, I love being called ma'am. If you could just say that every single time, that will just make me so happy, I tell you.
It's drummed into me. It's something I always do.
Oh, but I feel like the Queen. I love it. Now, I think the question on a lot of people's lips is obviously Harry and Meghan's wedding was a massive spectacle. People camped out in the streets of Windsor. My parents were in Spain. They had a proper royal wedding party. It was such a big deal. Now, if you go to copy something, it's quite difficult to sort of do it to the same sort of scale. So why do you think they've gone down this route?
You're right, because it was a huge event, and like you, I had friends in Australia that had a whole party around it. I mean, there wasn't anybody I didn't know that wasn't celebrating it. And this is why I think they're considering, or they are, having their wedding again at Windsor. Now, it could just be that at the time when they were planning it, they thought we'll have maybe something maybe a bit more low key. Who knows? But the reality is they're now going to have something kind of similar to what Prince Harry and Meghan Markle enjoyed and had. And I think because that was such a success, and I was there, I witnessed the wonderful kind of the atmosphere, the, as people say, electric atmosphere, the wonderful kind of community within the castle, because I was lucky enough to be within the grounds, to see all that, and it was extraordinary, and it made everyone kind of feel good. And I think that anybody that was involved in the planning of that thought, you know what, that party was such a success, we need to do it again, and why not? So I think they're going to have a second go at doing something similar, probably not quite all the same with every detail, but very similar, and hopefully it will have the same turnout and the same celebration.
Do you think, though, honestly, that it will have the same turnout? Do you think the public will respond in such a way?
It's a tricky one, because obviously she's slightly further down the line of succession. Obviously she's not. I'd like to think that she's known, but of course there is people that I've met, and I mentioned Princess Eugenia, and they're not too sure who that is. So you've got to kind of do the quick history lesson. So there is the reality that some people might generally not really kind of realise who it is or the significance of it. But then again, as soon as we all start talking about it, it starts getting promoted, advertised. You can rest assured that a lot of people will suddenly kind of flock to Windsor like they did before. The only thing I'm aware of is it's kind of going into autumn, going into winter. It's not springtime. Obviously, there's a lot more tourists possibly around at that point. So, it is possible there will be fewer people, but who knows? On the day we could all be surprised, and if it is anything like the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, I mean, that was extraordinary. I mean, I could hardly move around Windsor for the amount of people. So it'll be interesting to see if it has the same effect.
I mean, the poor people of Windsor, they've just got to shut up shop for another Saturday.
I really did feel sorry for them, because you literally couldn't move. And lucky enough, I had somebody very kindly kind of escorting me, because I was invited to the wedding. I was also doing media work. So I was lucky to have people kind of escorting to get through the crowds. But if you didn't have anyone kind of helping, you would have been kind of stuck, because you literally couldn't move. It was amazing. You did need a horse and carriage, I think, to even move around. So I think the Duke and Duchess of Sussex made a good decision with that one.
Now, obviously, at the royal wedding this year, we had Harry, we had Meghan. We also had a plethora of showbiz celebrities. We had Oprah Winfrey for a start. We had the Beckhams. George Clooney, anyone who was anyone was invited to the royal wedding. How do you think this one's going to pan out for celebrity spotting?
I think it's the thing about members of the royal family. They've all got their own friends. Their friends are very individual to them, whether they're famous or not famous, whether they're titled or Mr. Smith at the end of the road. There's no kind of criteria. These days, the wonderful thing with the royal family is their friends are from all sorts of backgrounds and all walks of life. So as far as the celebrity side goes, I'm sure she's got one or two celebrity friends who possibly will get invited. And like with other friends, if they can make it, they'll be there on the day. But as you said, there'll be a lot of royal watchers and celebrity watchers trying to see who they spot on the day, and that's part of the excitement. I think when people go along to a royal wedding, it's for the the pomp and circumstance, obviously to kind of catch a glimpse of a royal, but it's also to do with the fact that you're going to have celebrities and who those celebrities are going to be, and are they going to wave to you? Are they going to catch your eye?
Okay, so you think Windsor will come to a complete standstill on October the 12th, and your bet is that there's still going to be people camping out in the streets to see it?
I think so, yeah, without any question. I have no doubt that we'll still have everybody all kind of there hoping to catch a glimpse of the bride and groom.
Oh, brilliant. Grant, Harrold, thank you so much for joining me. Before I go, can you just say it one more time? Can you just say, ma'am?
Absolutely, ma'am.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's been great
you.
chatting to you. Thank you.
Likewise.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That's Grant Harrold, the Royal Butler. Oh, my goodness. I need to get a clip of him saying ma'am and just play it every time my phone rings, because that was just brilliant.